Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
This is Ryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Dang, I just lost the phone just that quick. I don't even know what the day is now. What's the day, somebody? Damn, I can't believe I just threw a phone away just like that.
Wednesday the 24th.
The day is Wednesday the 24th, 2021. You here with DVP, and you watching the Random Thoughts with DVP show. How y'all doing today? Y'all as y'all watching, y'all chime in. Let me know if it's any anniversaries or birthdays, anything like that I need to know about. But so this is my little quick monologue. I went and got the COVID shot 2 days ago. I'm feeling good. It had, I can't even say I had no arm soreness, but I know most time you get shots, you got to keep moving your arms because that's just what you got to do to cut down on the soreness. I got the Moderna version. I will keep y'all updated. And it's crazy. It seems like that's the new war, vaccinated versus unvaccinated, and I heard a bunch of crazy stuff, but I'm gonna probably say that for another show. We're gonna have a little fun today. We'll have a couple of serious little conversations. I got some special guests. I got my man Roy here, who his hashtag is Black Women and Everything. So I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. I like to wait for everything to come out, but we're gonna have a little section, not about that guy, but about the things that guy does and what he represents and why it's so reprehensible. But we're gonna talk about relationships, sex, values, and cheating in the whole 9 yards. And we even gonna touch on some forgiveness. One of my special guests has a series out. It's called "The Silly Woman Retires," and I was hoping that she was gonna be a part of this because she can tell some of the things she did as a silly young woman that got her to where she is today. So we're gonna get into some of all of that. So what I just want to tell y'all is, you know what? For those y'all who keep up with me, y'all know I know I'm off camera a little bit. Y'all know I got my chickens, right? Let me just show off right quick. This is my second crate, and my chickens just start laying eggs Tuesday, I think. So I'm gonna be selling true fresh eggs shortly. True fresh eggs, farm fresh. They open range. No steroids, no none of that. They just out of my yard. I feed them chicken feed, some food scrap stuff like that. So what's up, Latasha? So if y'all interested in getting some farm fresh, raised, I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna have them available. I got white, brown, olive, and because I got 5 different ones, but 2 of them lay the same type of egg. So we're gonna make it happen. But remember, I can't keep telling y'all that we gotta start being able to the point we can take care of ourselves unless we start taking care of ourselves. And the easiest way to do that for me was to start my own garden. We're growing fruits and veggies. And like I said, I got the eggs. Hopefully I'm gonna get enough. I'm gonna be able to do some, donate some to some homeless shelters. And that's what we're gonna do with some of the fruits and veggies, in addition to, selling them, being part of the community, learn to live off the land. All right, but I might have some stories about that later on too. What's going on, Pansy, Tanya, Ramos? For those of y'all that's watching on my personal pages, y'all need to come on over to Random Thoughts for DVP. I'm gonna put the link in there so y'all can come and watch the show. So if y'all got something to say, you can converse with the rest of the group, because we gonna go kind of hard. Yeah, Latasha just do fruits and veggies. She don't eat eggs, so I'm gonna keep her around because she cool people. But she don't eat eggs, so. But she cool people. I'm gonna give her that. She's supposed to be on the show. So is Pete. But I ain't gonna say nothing about that yet, because I'm gonna hold my pettiness for stuff later on. But I hope y'all been having a good week. I hope y'all been having a good year. Hopefully we're gonna get through this corona thing, and we're gonna be able to come up swinging like champs and get together, go back to almost the good old days where we can hang out and see each other, a little shit. I think I miss hugs. I miss being able to hug. I miss being able to hug people. I'm just a friendly guy like that. And, it sucks because in this whole Me Too movement, I may have to give up hugging. I don't know yet. Who knows? What's up, Mon Showers? What's up, Carl? So I got Trina Marie up in the house. So she gonna bring her brand of fire. She been unleashed. I might be a little bit scared of her today. Do y'all remember the blink thing? That if I'm in trouble, I'm gonna blink twice. She ain't got the frying pan right now, but if she come around the corner with it, I'm gonna need for y'all to let me know real quick what's going on. So, with that being said, how do I want to do this? I'm gonna because one of my guests is gonna be running a little later. She wanna talk specifically about some of the things going on with the man of the hour, Mr. Jackson. It's always a Jackson in the news, so we're gonna hold on to that one because I loud like he ready. And I'm noticing a theme. Roy, Trina, what color y'all got on? Seemed like everybody got on blue. Did y'all get the memo? Seemed like everybody wearing blue.
I'm the oddball. I got on red.
Oh yeah, the gang banger.
Y'all look like gangbangers. Y'all the ones with y'all the Crips.
What's up? Oh, no, you.
Lighting sucks.
You don't get nothing from hugs, Sasha. Yeah, I missed some spade games because for those of y'all that don't know me, y'all know I love to talk a little trash, and that's kind of what I miss most. And I can say this because Trina cool with it. I miss going to strip clubs and spending my $21.55. Man, I need to get y'all know how much money I done saved through this pandemic. See that curtain Trina got, that took all my savings. So but anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I want to talk about how do we. Let's start with open relationship. Or Trina, should I bring that one in after we do the meme? What you think? Because Trina is the show director for this show.
Yeah, just bring it in later.
All right, Roy, go ahead and put the first. Go ahead and put it up. The first comment. And this was I was in a group, and I had saw this a couple other places, and me and I were gonna be sentiment up about it because she was trying to defend the lady, but I ain't trying to hear this. So this man and this woman, they're in a relationship. They've been in a relationship for a year. They've been engaging in sexual activities, I'm assuming with each other. So after a year, she tells him that she's not gonna have sex no more until they get married. So he loved her, but he ain't ready to get married. So his question was, do I marry to keep her or go? So with that concept in mind, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do ladies first. We're gonna let the silly woman retires. #cinnamon. I'm gonna let her give a quick introduction and give her answer to that question. Leave it up there for a second, Roy. Go ahead, Cinnamon.
Hey, I just think she's entitled to change her mind and say maybe she wants something from him and he's not willing to give it to her, which he's saying is marriage. So her thing is, I don't want to keep doing this way. We're going to not have sex until we get married. So the marriage, the length of that is on you. So if you marry me because this is what you want, or you don't. And he has a choice to say, yeah, I'll marry you or I won't, but don't get in it to play games just because you want to have sex. It's millions of other women out here that'll have sex with you, or whatever the case is. I'm not saying go cheat on her, leave her alone and decide this is not what you want. I don't want the same thing that you want, so we will have to go our separate ways. Does that make sense?
Nope. But I'm gonna let you have it. I'm gonna let you have it a little bit. That's why we're here, so you can explain yours.
I just think that we are all entitled to change our minds. And if you want something that you want in a relationship and for your life and your livelihood, you get to choose what you're going to do. And she made a choice as well as he'll have a choice. And whatever the choice is, they both have to agree on it.
But and this is where I disagree and digress with you.
Okay.
What she just did was place all the value in her coochie. And women say they bring more to a relationship than sex, but according to her, that's all she bringing. She ain't saying nothing else. And I'm okay with the progressing.
But maybe that's what she felt all she was bringing was that like she felt like that relationship consisted of the value that she was bringing when they were sexual. So now, hey, wait a minute, I'm not just a sexual thing. So can we hold up and become friends and get to do some other thing that's not going to have to entail sex? Can that just be, because I want marriage. And they say, I'm not saying me, I'm just saying on this post here, because that's not me.
But and I'm gonna let Trina get in here. I don't see how you can be a born again virgin in the middle of a relationship.
It doesn't have to be about born again virgin. It's just a choice that she doesn't want to be intimate or having sexual relationships with anyone. It's not being born again. It's making a choice to say, hold up, I'm not going to do it right now. I'm not saying, I'm holier than thou and I'm, and I think that I shouldn't because no, it's just what your personal preference is at this particular time.
Sin. Once we done start doing it and you done made it the norm,
then you have a right to say, you know what, Sin? I ain't fucking with you bugging the hell out. I'm going over here because there's millions of bitches that's gonna give me some pussy, and you sit over there with your celibate ass and wait on your man to come that's gonna give you what you want. And eventually, you know what? It's either gonna happen or it won't. You know what I'm saying? So I get to choose what I want to do. And that's just going to be a grown-ass woman saying, look, I'm gonna be what the fuck I want to be and not what you say I have to be.
But
So,
and that's why that conversation is so important. That's when you sit down and you be like, look, I'm headed toward a different direction. This is what I'm thinking.
And it doesn't say anything in here that they didn't have a conversation. It's just saying what the beginning part and what the outcome may just wind up being. And that is her not being with her man, or him marrying this chick and being a miserable motherfucker and cheating on her anyway, when he should have just gone ahead and did what he was doing without the marriage. But yeah, that goes now to your next subject would be Mr. Jackson. No,
we got other people. Come on.
Okay, we ain't done with that one. Okay, let's stay here.
Yeah.
Okay. What you say?
Come on, Trina.
I don't see her.
Okay, now I'm unmuted. I think it's crazy to do it in the middle of a relationship, but at the same time, I have to agree with Sin. You know, we all have the right to change our mind whenever the hell we feel like it. You know, if today I'm like, you know what, I want to go in a different direction in my life, I should be able to do that without, you know what I mean? And like she said, you know, either you with it or you not. And
everybody has a choice.
Everybody has a choice. Yeah, it's crazy to do it in the middle of a relationship, but you know, that's at that point, maybe she feel like, you know, whatever pull that is, that's, you know, that pull to be celibate is stronger than her need or want to be with you. It's like, hey, either you come with me or go somewhere else.
And like I say, I'm good with that, because like, you know, like what one of the others we're gonna discuss, and all I'm dealing with what it say here. To tell me that the only way we can have sex is to get married, to me, that's a power move.
No. Does it say only? Wait, go back to, because I can't see what it's saying. She said.
It said my girlfriend has decided to restrain from sex after dating a year. I love her, but I'm not ready to marry her. Do I marry to keep her, or do I go?
Okay, so she said she's ready to restrain from it. She is going to withhold. Yes, she's holding back until something is compromised in this situation. And her compromise may be, we need to get it. It needs to be an end result that we're getting married. It didn't need to be the end result that we're getting married today, tomorrow, but it needs to be the end result as we moving forward. And if you want what I'm saying, I don't want to give before the marriage, then you'll make it happen and we'll get married sooner, and that'll be better for everybody, because then we can go back to fucking.
See, now if she doing it to get married, then hell
no,
yeah.
I'm not saying, but you know, some people will her end result is she does want to be married.
Right.
And it's not like I'm gonna withhold it, but I do have to value myself. I see my value, I see my worth. And you know what? I know I'm not just sex. So if I pull that from you and now you have a problem with it, because something can happen when we're married and I can't do it or you can't do it, what's going to happen?
Then it's not a choice.
I just need to understand how it would be with the sex. So can we stop that? And if that becomes a major problem for him, then again, he has a choice not to do it, but it's still in my mind, it's like she has a choice to say, this is what I want. Just like he has a choice to say what he wants.
I hear what you're saying. And, you know, like you said, at the end of the day, everybody got choices. However, the time to build the friendship and try to see where you are with this person without sex is before. You don't.
A lot of this world is ass backwards.
In the wrong direction, and you know, at the wrong, not direction, the wrong sequence. She definitely sequenced it wrong, but like you said, if that's what she want to do.
And that's the thing, because what do we say in relationships? Whatever you did to get him, keep doing it. So whatever she did to get him, now she talking about stopping it. So yeah, and that's when women say men got to be consistent. Well, ain't we got to do the flips? Ain't we got to do some kind of consistency? Like, and one of the things that Trina says is that she didn't cook for dudes. That was her major move. And like I said, anybody can have a change of heart, but that's when we need to have a whole conversation, and it don't need to be based on the threat. Like I said, if she decides she want to go a different direction, she just need to say that. But marriage don't need to be put in the conversation, and that's why to me it comes off as a threat. Because if she say, "Hey, I'm gonna use me and Trina." If Trina decides she want to be a born again Christian for whatever reason, and she want to reevaluate her life, see, that's a conversation we gonna have. But she can't tell me what I got to do. She got to tell me what's going on with her, and then we go from there. But to say, "Oh, I'm finna become a born again Christian. We're not gonna have sex unless you become a born again Christian too." That's a threat. That's not a negotiation.
That's unrealistic. Like that's trying to change someone.
Exactly. So if she been having sex for a year and she's saying she ain't gonna have sex.
But she's still not saying she would never do it, and she's not telling him not to, but she's just saying this is what she wants.
Right. She ain't asking him to change. She's telling she ain't gonna have no more sex. So
she said she's gonna refrain from it.
So
restrain
it's sex
from it don't mean that it's, you gonna try your hardest, and it don't necessarily mean it might work, but you're gonna try. Well, you might try not to do it as much.
And the second thing is,
the other stuff.
The second thing is if he went out and he started having sex with somebody,
then that would be on her, because then she's gonna. That would be what he decides to do.
So let me jump in, because I actually did make one of the first comments on this post when I saw it, and mine was actually the opposite of kind of what y'all are talking about. I put mine based on the dude, because the question is, he says, if I'm not mistaken, he said he loves her. He's loving. They've been together for a year or whatever. My comment was, dude, if the sex is going to be that big of a factor for you, to me, you need to check whether or not you really do love her. If you can't wait, if you, true enough, you ain't ready to get married yet. All right. So does that mean that if you still want to have sex, but she don't want to have sex anymore, if you love this woman and this is the woman that you claim that you love, then you wait. Be like, all right, well, I ain't ready to get married yet. We still gonna kick it. We still gonna be in a relationship. I get that, but that's
it's so interesting because anytime the topic of a woman refraining from sex because whatever the hell holy reason she wants or self-realization, whatever it's supposed to always be okay with the man, but let a man not give us some. I'm trying to clean up my language here. Let a man not give us some, and we will have a damn fit. What you having sex with somebody else, and
but Trina, that's
crazy stuff.
But that's those. So here's one of the things that we got to be real about. That's one of the double. There are so many double standards in relationships from men and women, with stuff that women can get away with that a dude can't even try to get away with. To give a perfect example, I saw a meme, and this is just real short. The meme said, it talked about the fact that women say, "Oh, my daddy spoiled me," and so now the expectation is that a man does the same thing. But if a dude was to be like, "Well, shit, my mama spoiled me," you better do what mama did.
Your mama's boy.
Oh, right, exactly. You're a mama's boy. It's normal for women, and it's a bad thing for men.
So a man can't refrain from sex because he gotta clean up his mind or whatever reason people would stop in the middle of a relationship. Stop having sex in the middle, so he can't go through those same things and receive the same level of understanding and compassion.
No, it depends on the female.
Of course,
some female that might say, you know what? Okay, so let's take a pause then and let's reevaluate. I think a woman would be more susceptible to doing it than a man would if it was the way that it is right now.
Yeah, and of course it depends on the woman, but I think it's fair to say that most women ain't gonna be okay with that.
I don't believe that.
Because Trina, just like the first thought is going to be
with it. They will try to figure something out.
Trina, it's going to be what you said. The first thought she going to have, wait a minute, you sleep with somebody else.
That too.
Yeah. So, La, what you got to say? I know you've been sitting quiet and trying to get in there.
I've been saying a couple of things. I understand what Cinnamon and Trina were saying, and it's a woman's choice, right? Then they say, once they make the decision to refrain, or to refrain or withhold. They say withhold sex. So that ain't refraining, cutting down. That's stopping it too. So we talk about this marriage thing, and I understand women want to go toward marriage or want to go towards something, right? They say that in the middle, she makes this decision, and then it's the man's choice whether to stay or go. It's just whatever he want to do. Their choice is fine. So what about when a guy wants to refrain in a relationship or don't think that this might be marriage material for him or whatever like that. And so he stops or he wants to slow down the relationship. Then the women are like, well, what's wrong? We were doing so good. Sex life is good. Sex life. What about when he makes that choice to refrain or to slow down or hold back in whatever? Like what the name said, it's sometimes double standards in that. And
but it's okay, isn't it? Wouldn't it be okay for him to? I feel it would be okay for him to change his mind and feel this way. Just talk to me. Don't just cold turkey be crazy about it and just be disrespectful. Talk to me and let me know that this is what you're trying. And if it works for both of us, then okay. So maybe let's see how it might. You know, like I'll do something different, you do something different. Where's there going to be a compromise?
I'm sorry.
But we coming off task on the whole post. I know that, but I was just kind of piggybacking off of what Lau was saying.
Right.
It can be acceptable both ways.
And like in all relationships, sometimes you grow together, sometimes you grow apart. And that might be one of those, you know, those forking roads where she growing this way and he need to go that way, because don't stop having sex with me in the middle of a relationship. I'm gonna let you know now, we growing in different directions. I'm not coming with you. I'm not. Don't do that to me. I'm like, wait a minute, but I got you sucked. Well, now I gotta go find me a cut buddy. You okay with that? Are you? Because you want to stop having sex. Now, why I gotta stop having sex?
And see,
and I agree. I definitely don't want to be that person either. But I'm talking on this post that he posted, you know. But I want to have sex. I just want there to always be respect in whatever we do.
And see, to me, that right there, you introducing another variable that are you ready for? Because you know there are people who are no, not you. The scenario, because if me and again, I'm gonna use me and Trina. If me and Trina are doing something, one of us decide we don't want to have sex, then what does that mean the other one got to do? Because, you know, to me, it ain't no different than that 90-day rule. Me and Trina can have a 90-day rule. It just means we won't have sex with each other. But I ain't saying I ain't gonna have sex, but I will honor what you're saying. I just won't switch you about it. And I told Trina, it's funny, I dated a girl, and the reason I dated her, the main reason I dated her, when I met her, she said, I'm looking for a guy I can build a friendship with. I don't want to have sex until we there. And I was like, you know what? That was so cool, because this was right around one of my little hoe phases. And I actually wanted to get to know somebody. Do you know me and this chick got into a fight? I mean, an actual fight, because I wouldn't try to get it. I mean, she made me twist my ankle. She tackled me going down some steps because she invited me to her bedroom. And I was like, we don't need to be here because, you know, why play with fire? So let's just go back downstairs and do the kissing stuff we've been doing. Man, this chick dove down the steps, hit me like LT. I was hurt. I had to fight this chick off me to get out the house. But I'm thinking, you said,
what were you doing?
I was going what she said, that it was gonna be a non-sexual event. I wanted to see how that whole thing worked.
How old were you?
Shit, I was 20. I was in 28, 29. But she really hurt my ankle when she tackled me going down the steps. But I'm like with Trina, when you make certain things, because me and Trina have changed, but we talked about what's going on, and we got to make a decision that work for both of us. You can't give either party an ultimatum. You can say, how can we fix this so that it don't affect neither one of us if we trying to go together? She can't just make a decision for her that's going to affect me and just expect no kind of kickback. You know, it's kind of like me just waking up saying, let's go to church. Well, where the conversation for church going? Because Trina's gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy. But where did that come from? It's like, hey, Trina, I'm feeling some kind of way. You know, I saw signs. I hit with a flash of light or something. But all of a sudden, if you don't go to church, then this ain't gonna work. That's an ultimatum. Because we ain't had no conversation. And to me, that's what's missing. You can't give ultimatums without conversation. There has to be, as you say, there has to be some give and take. What is he giving? Because he ain't giving nothing but a choice to go or to cheat. And we're going to get into the second half of that. You were trying to teach something and go into open relationships. We ain't there yet, but we're going to get there. But yeah, I mean, because for both of my failed marriages, we agreed not to have sex 30 days before the wedding. But that was an agreement just so we could, you know, try to have some sparks that night. So that was a whole different scenario, but that was something we both agreed to, and we had a timeline in place. Not, oh, if you don't do this, I ain't gonna marry you. Because like I said, it just come across as a threat. She ain't saying I ain't gonna do this because I want to make myself a better person. I ain't gonna do this unless you marry me. So that's a threat. You gotta marry me or go bounce. And he ain't ready yet.
A threat or ultimatum? It's an ultimatum, not a threat.
What's the difference between an ultimatum and a threat?
Right.
The threat is a little hostile, I'm thinking.
An ultimatum is extra hostile.
You think so? Oh,
Trina, when I gave you the ultimatum that if you try to leave me, I'm taking your ankles, how did you take that? Did you take that as an ultimatum or a threat?
Well, that sounds
I didn't take it as neither. I took it as a joke.
There you go. And she laughed and you moved on.
Right. Take my ankles.
Right.
Not ankles, just one of them.
He's so silly.
But yeah, and you know, like I said, and everybody got their own perception of it. But when you tell me the outcome, if I don't do something, that's an ultimatum. Because you ain't giving me no option. You telling me what you're gonna do and how it's gonna affect me. You ain't asked me how I felt about it.
Well, how you know she didn't ask him that? She might have.
Cause
He just didn't articulate that in that little post.
Right. So we ain't finna
So
make this a what.
We can't assume on
Right.
nothing, right?
Right. We ain't gonna make this a what about post. We're gonna deal with what they gave us.
Okay.
So that's all we got. So since Cinnamon drifted on over there, and you know, this goes into when we want to start talking about open relations, because are we cool with certain things? If we don't want to do this, if we don't want to do that, then how willing are we to let people do stuff and be okay with it? If I don't want to do this, are you okay with letting me do it with somebody else? I mean, if you don't want to do this, are you okay with letting me do it with somebody else? If I ain't okay with doing something, am I okay with letting Trina do it with something else? And again, you know, this is what open relations about, because they don't always have to be about sex. You know, one of the couples that I interviewed when I was doing my whole adult lifestyle things was a couple, and the guy was a truck driver, but he would recommend guys to take his wife out, guys that he knew that they were swingers, but he knew she wanted to do stuff. And he would recommend guys. He would even call and say, "I'm going out of town. Can you take my wife to this event? Can you take my wife to that event?" They were cool with that. Is everybody that kind of cool?
Nope.
Okay, go on and jump in there loud. Well, quick with that one.
I'm not that cool.
Nope. That's kind of conversations and building relationships and having something else, some other kind of substitute. Because I am going out of town and you got this event where we just gonna have a hell of a time when I come back, or I'll take you out when I get back to make up for it or whatever like that. But bringing somebody else in the mix, I understand what y'all talking about comfortable, but then I think that's where trouble starts. I mean, whether it's, you know, we know how the shit go with family members, babysitters, this, that, and the other, you know, oh, this just my homeboy, you know, all of that. For me, sometimes it's some bullshit. Okay, it's just you know, hiding what we really doing. So,
but no, this is people who are in open relationships, right, Darren?
Right. I mean, they know what it is. They know about the line. Like Eric is on here. Eric is one of my friends from California. Eric leads a poly lifestyle or a swinger lifestyle. Okay. Right. So, but again, see, that's a conversation piece.
Exactly. That's what I said in the beginning.
And too many times we are here, because me and Trina laugh about this all the time. One person is actively in it, the other person is unactively in it and fussing about it. I mean, we heard a thing on Steve Harvey that was talking about it, but it wasn't nothing like that. But a lot of times we hear about, like we're gonna get to later, one person having all the fun, the other person being a square. They still in an open relationship. They just ain't enjoying the perks of it. How do you get to that point where you have the conversation where everything is cool with everybody? Because one side is usually more selfish than the other side. But at some point, for some relationship, it works best. You know, Trina was on the phone with me when I was at work, and the girl was like, "Why do you stay married to somebody if the sex ain't good?" Well, as Cinnamon said, what if something happened and we can't have sex? And if me and Trina together and I have an accident where I can't have sex no more, Trina's barely 40. She ain't past her sexual prime yet. Should I make her suffer because I can't do it no more? Or should she stay true to her vows and, you know, all this other stuff? Or should she be free to go in and have sex partners? And that's a conversation that people got to have, because the love is still there. It's just that, you know, the physical performance ain't there no more, because at some point marriage is still partly a business. And what do you do? What do business people do when the machines stop working? They get another machine. So and you know,
reinvent yourself.
So
there you go.
Yeah. Loud done said this is a hard no for him, but Loud, if you were in let's just say you were married again, and your wife for whatever reason couldn't have sex no more, would you divorce her or would you give up sex?
When you say sex, is that intercourse? There's other things to do other than intercourse. So
yeah, she can't have vaginal intercourse no more.
Okay, well, there's other shit to do. So I would have that big question and try to think of some other things. Yeah,
that's what y'all be saying until you got to go through it, until you got to just rely on your hand for the rest of your life because you don't want to leave her. But I hear you.
There's other things, as I said.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, well,
I'm trying to be cute.
So
You want to know what that?
What do you mean I'm trying to be cute, Roy? What do you mean I'm trying to be cute, Roy?
Not cute, not
What do you
cute.
want me to say?
Let me change it. Not cute. Hold on. Let me say not cute. He trying to be politically correct. He want to say what the mouth do.
Okay, right.
What that tongue do? What that tongue do?
I'm gonna let the fast ladies go last. Right? What's your take on it?
Right.
No, I mean, you know, it's interesting. So I was my ex, the one ex-girlfriend I've had since my marriage. She actually hated giving massages. She's like, what he's really like, you know, first off, I like deep tissue massage stuff. So this is different from the sex. I'm gonna get back to that. But like that was one of the things that she knew. Like I'm very touchy-feely. I love to be touched when I'm in a relationship. And I love to be touched by whoever I'm in a relationship with because there's a different energy and there's a different sensualness with that touch that goes along with it, right? Well, she just didn't like doing it. She's like, well, I pay for you to get a massage on a weekly basis if I have to. And I had to tell her, I'd be like, well, you know, I don't think you're gonna want somebody to give me the kind of massage that I want to get from you. And she was just like, well, no, I wouldn't care because I just don't want to do it. She was like that adamant about not giving a massage, but we were still together. She still wanted to be with me. And she still wanted to be in a committed relationship with me. So there are things that you can do. I mean, like you said, you got to have those conversations. People have got to talk about what they're going to do. And, you know, like, I mean, going to the scenario that Dee said, and I think this is, you know, it's funny because the reality of today's time, and this is one of the things that I think is a very difficult situation for us, is the base purpose for a man in a relationship 9 times out of 10 seems to be finances. The base relationship for a woman in a relationship 9 times out of 10 seems to be sex. If that is the top priority in your relationship, for me, those two things being the top priority is a problem. I need to know how you make me feel when I'm not doing anything else. I need to be my peace, be all that other stuff first. We'll get to the other stuff. So for me, if it gets to a point where I cannot have sex and my significant other is still into something, I'm gonna be very honest because I've actually had several conversations with some folks about how to deal with certain things, talking about the whole swinger relationships and all this kind of stuff. I would have if I could not do anything physically, I would definitely sit down and be like, listen, if you still need to get out and get that, let's figure out how this is gonna work. Let's figure out what's gonna be the best way for it to happen. Because the unfortunate reality, like I said, Dee used to say it, shoulder to cry on becomes a D to ride on. And the avoidance thing that you want to do, like I said, you want to make, at this point, it needs to become a business. You don't want the emotional attachment coming. You got to figure out some way to make it a business for her to be able to still get herself off. But no, I wouldn't, if I could no longer physically do anything with my with my wife and I wanted to stay married to her, I would be open to figuring something out so that she could still be pleased and have that. I mean, if it's like I said, my tongue works wonders. So, but if that ain't enough, we got to have some conversations just to be real. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna want the same consideration.
And I hear what everybody's saying, and I'm gonna let y'all ladies go. But as Trina said, and I know she's gonna get into it again, it's easy to answer a lot of questions when you ain't been through some stuff. Everybody got a perfect world scenario, but when they hit you, when real life hits you, what Mike Tyson say, everybody will fight until they get hit. Once you get hit,
everybody got a plan until they get punched.
Yeah. So let me see, cause boy, both of them like they got a little attitude, something to say.
No, I'm just listening. I'm chilling. I'm good.
Trina, cinnamon, go on and get a quick sip, and then come on, one of y'all give me what you got. What's your answer on this, Trina? I'm gonna go with you.
No, I'm just listening. Go on, Sam.
Okay, go ahead, Sam. If Sam, let's start first. If you can't perform regular intercourse no more, and you in a committed relationship, are you okay with? What are you okay with?
What you gonna do?
I'm okay with us trying to figure some things out. Like I don't know what the long haul would be, but I know in the immediate we're gonna work some things out. Like Like Roy said, his tongue works. It's what that tongue do, what that mouth do. They both work, right? So
Right.
I mean, I don't know, but there's always ways to make somebody else happy.
And I hear you on that one.
In a 50-year-old mindset, as I'm in my piece.
but a tongue and a finger and a mouth don't break backs, and sometimes you need back breaking stuff.
Sometimes.
So when that time comes, what you gonna do? Because you can't break your own back.
You're gonna jam Bob in really hard.
What you say?
She ain't say nothing. Mute the mic. Mute the mic.
Oh man.
You're gonna put a hurt on that deal, though.
Trainer?
Huh?
What? Oh, hold on. So Cinnamon, if he can't do it no more, he got to rely on his tongue and his hand to keep you happy. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I know how to make myself happy. I've learned that for this year being celibate. I know how to make myself happy. So if it had to come to the point where I need to make myself happy and still make him happy, I can do that because I've come to that place. Maybe if you asked me this a couple of years ago, my answer would be like, nah, he deuces. I'll be your friend somewhere, but I'm 50 and I'm in a whole different mindset. So yeah, I would be there with him. And I know how to please myself. I've learned that. So I guess I'm agreeing with Lau in some kind of way, I believe. Am I loud? Okay.
All right. So you gonna remain neutral on that one, Trina?
I mean, ask the question again. But you know, like people who watch a show and who watch us, they already know we kind of a little different with that anyway. You know, sex is sex. If I could not perform anymore, if I could not have intercourse anymore, I don't do anal. Sorry. I just don't like it. I don't like feeling like I got to take a colossal dump. That's not my thing. For those of y'all liking, nothing against y'all, but that's me. Oral, man, look, I understand that sometimes the same way that we want that, you know, back breaking once in a while. I'm sure y'all want to break some backs every once in a while. You ain't about to break my damn jaw. So we might have to
jaw, girl, you gotta just know how to deal with it. I'm just
girl, no, we're not about to be doing that. You're not about to be ramming all down my damn throat. I'm not with it, okay? Look, I'll try some extra sometimes, a little gaggy choke, but look,
I'm just kidding.
No, we might have to work something out with some outsider, but I'm okay with that. You know, I don't care what nobody else say. If that's not y'all thing, don't do it. You know, that's my motto. If you don't like what I do, don't do it.
That's what it's all about. What works for the couple.
I would be okay with that. I would be okay with that.
But this is where, you know, and this is one of them situations where a lot of people say stuff, and then when they hit them, they end up cheating. They got the same excuse because now reality hit them. It ain't the same. It ain't.
I was just gonna say, and like, you know, like Sin said, I know how to please myself too, but Bob can only do so damn much. He can only do so much that Bob will never, ever replace the real thing, ever. And sometimes you need the real thing. And damn, I really need the real thing, and I can't get the real thing from my husband. Like, damn, what we gonna do? Your finger, I don't like fingers jammed in me. Sometimes you just like and you need what you need. You know what I mean? You need what you need. So you're gonna be cutting me up with them damn fingernails. 2 and 3 fingers, they ain't even shaped right. No, But you know, that's just me.
And that's the thing, like I say, because you see so many. I see so many women saying that it ain't that important, but then the minute they cheat, it's all about affection, and they call it affection, but it ain't affection. They just need that ruggedness of sex, because everybody loves to say, be politically correct and say, oh, we making love. Well, most of the time we ain't making love. It's the rawness of sex, and that's what we like. And you gotta be of a certain mindset to be past that phase. Most of us aren't past that mindset, and everybody keeps saying get a toy. I'm gonna tell you, because I've heard women say this about toys. You know what the drawback to toys is, unless you get one of them fancy $high-dollar machines? What? Ain't none of them hands-free. Sometimes women still want to be hugged. Women still want to.
That's all we need. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, when women want to be held down, women like the little manhandling phase. A toy can't do none of that. So when we're talking about the complete act, it's just not sticking it in and going back and forth. There's a whole process to it. The same thing in being a man. Yeah, you can sit there and use what happened when you want to get to the hands-free portion. We want to just sit back and look, and everybody's saying do this, and like I said, and it sounds cute, as Trina said, but when reality kick in, are these things going to be satisfying? And they may satisfy you for the moment. You know, remember the guy who his wife had dementia and he got his lover in the house and everybody was tripping, but he still had to work, and his new lover would help take care of his wife so that he could go to work, and everybody was against him, but he had to do what worked for him. His wife had dementia. She couldn't function. He couldn't stay there and support the household. And, you know, just because you don't like it, you got to look at the questionnaire and see whose approval did I see. As Trina said, you know, we do what we do. As long as I'm okay with it and she okay with it, then ain't a whole lot else to say. That's right.
And you know,
Lauren
people,
said Bob can't rub your back.
That's right. And you know, people love to say how love isn't selfish until it comes to sex. That's when love becomes very selfish. So it's not selfish, but you're gonna let your partner suffer in the flesh or whatever the hell you want to call it. You know what I mean? They're sexually frustrated. They can't really get off what they need to get off because you're like, well, we're married, so you're not supposed to do that. I know I'm out of commission for the rest of my life, so you got to be out of commission for the rest of your life. What happened to love ain't selfish? You know, that's where everybody draw the line right there. Then it becomes very selfish. But carry on.
Like I said, that's just one of them things that when you're talking about the what ifs, the what may happen, in real life, you got to discuss what's real life, because like I said, when everybody get to that, you know, I don't know what stage it is, 7 to 8 or whatever it is, when it don't matter, then yeah, it's all cute. We can walk around and hold hands and do this. And the most, Alicia said, the most high allowed men to have multiple in the U.S. system got people on the one track mind. And I ain't even gonna go there, Alicia. We are a sexual creature. Right. There ain't but two creatures that have sex for recreational purposes, and we at the top of that list. This has nothing to do with the U.S. system. This has been going on since the beginning of time. Right. We are what we are, and our inability to accept that. And I'm still want to trend the phrases. Most time when you hear people talk about monogamy, you hear them say it's hard. That means it's not natural, because we don't talk about how hard it is to breathe, because it's a natural thing. We don't talk about blinking. It ain't even that hard for a lot of people to diet, because everybody don't eat a lot. But when you hear people start talking about monogamy, you hear a lot of people, and again, we ain't talking about everybody, but a lot of people struggle with monogamy. Why is that? Because sex for us has become recreational. It has been recreational. We try to make it biblical and be the whole fruitful and multiply, but most people are not having sex to procreate.
The definition of monogamy is the practice of. It's a practice. It's not something that comes natural. You know, people will sit there and argue with me all day. Humans are not monogamous. We are not a monogamous animal. We're not a monogamous creature. That is a fact of nature. Whether you want to accept it or not, you choose to be monogamous as a practice. But other than that, if you were truly monogamous, then the first person that you ever had sex with, that would be it for the rest of your life. And you would never, ever, ever have sex with anyone else.
And most of us ain't there. I mean, and that's the reason why, you know, and I love the two women I got on here, because Cinnamon does her thing. The silly woman retires, so she can tell you some stories. But when it comes to sex, I mean, for those of us who aren't prudish or who okay with real talk, a lot of times men and women both have had sex for most people for the wrongest of reasons. It was a hormonal thing. It was a pheromone thing. It had nothing to do with a long time partner or none of that stuff. It just happened because that was what was missing. Because what do we always say? Oh, we grown. We can do what we want to do.
Hold on. Alicia said, but them STDs made people stay monogamous. Girl, if you don't stop, girl, I don't know what you've been looking at, but ain't nobody stay no monogamous because no STDs. Not never.
Right. And
hold on. So what you be saying, Darren, when, you know, people sit there and they talk about all these STDs, and then they're talking about, oh, well, you know, when people start talking about having sex with multiples, as long as we get an STD test before, For real, like for real. You ain't got to answer the question to me or to nobody else, but just inside your mind, how many people did you really go get an STD test before you took off that condom? Like for real. But for real,
Yeah, that part.
You know what I mean? Like y'all need to stop.
And you know, and on that, it's funny because everybody talk about that, and to me, whenever I hear that, I hear what people saying, but I guarantee that if people were honest, because we like to lie a lot, because we know we're being judged.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
How long in a relationship is it before you actually take the condom off? And how many people really get this tested that everybody swear they're getting? Because the test is only good from that moment prior to. But if we stick with the fact that herpes and even HIV can lay dormant for 3, 4, 5 years, your test, unless you still got to get on a regular basis. So we keep saying, oh, STD this, STD that. Well, STDs, understand this. I'm gonna speak from experience because we done had these conversations. I spent the better part of 4, 5 years being an extreme whore, but I was picky. So you can sleep with a bunch of people and STDs ain't that prevalent. When you just start sleeping with dirty people and grimy people, you more likely to get it. So, and I hate when people try to use STDs as a fear factor. That's why our kids get pregnant so quickly.
And then see, even with that, there isn't. You can be as picky as you want to be. You don't know what the hell somebody else doing when they not around you. They can sit here portraying to be like they this good girl or this good guy. They could be the biggest freaking whore you ever met. You don't know.
Right, but I'm just saying, people keep wanting to use that. Oh, having multiple partners automatically going to give you STDs, and that is not the case. Multiple partners is not. And that just says more. It says more to the fact that people don't use condoms, because if you using condoms and got multiple partners, then what's the issue?
And why we got all these baby kids out here?
Okay, like for real.
Somebody done let the condoms.
Somebody ain't using no condoms, and I highly doubt y'all done all ran down to the damn the family, whatever you call them, places, and got an STD, and then right after y'all got your STD results, you jumped in the sack without a condom. Bull.
Right. That's that part.
So give me that. I ain't even trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear it.
Right. And let's be honest. When you talk to certain couples, how do they know that the other one was cheating? Because one of them caught an STD from their committed partner. So I mean,
there was some evidence that
right. But I'm saying just to randomly say that having sex with multiple people is gonna give an STD, that is just so bogus. It
increases your chances, though. It does increase your chances.
Right. But I mean, hell, there are a lot of things, but we can't just basically blame it on that. But yeah, you know, that again, that's a whole nother subject. But we have to be honest about where we feel, what we feel, and how we feel about sex, because too many people don't want to admit to how they feel about sex.
We have to be honest with what we feel about sex, or what we feel about ourselves.
About sex, because a lot of people holler sex ain't important, but when they cheat, what are they cheating with? They not having inappropriate communication. They not having dates.
Sometimes it is.
Okay, again, Trina.
Sometimes people don't have sex, but it can be cheating some other way. You can cuddle and not have sex.
Okay, again, we ain't talking about everybody. We know there are ways you can do a lot of stuff. Most people who are cheating are having sex. They not laying around cuddling. Most people are not laying around cuddling. They're not going to church and sitting in the church parking lot and reading the Bible anonymously. Most people who are cheating are having physical sexual intercourse.
A lot of people that are cheating are having sex.
Right. And half of those same people will holler when they were in that committed relationship that sex wasn't important. So why are you having sex with somebody else if sex ain't that important? And that's all I'm saying.
They're cheating, doing something else.
But all I'm saying is they're being in denial about how important sex is to them, because I care about character, I care about this, I care about that. That's all well and cute.
I tried it. You know, I did the whole being in a relationship with somebody where sex wasn't a factor, and I cheated. I cheated. Damn it! Sex became important when I didn't have it no more. When I ain't have it no more, it was like, damn, yo, like for real. Like I sound like 31. Like I can't do this no more. Like ever again. This is not right. I can't do this.
And what's the phrase? You don't know what you got. You don't know what you miss until you ain't got it.
You really don't know what you can and can't do, like in those types of, you can sit there and talk all that stuff all you want to. Most of the people who sit there and be like, oh well, ain't never ever had to do that situation, never been in that situation, and like anytime I see, like I'm on Facebook or whatever and I'm on those posts, the women who have done it, they be like, I tried it and I cheated. Every single one of them, they all tried it and they cheated. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy task to just ignore your carnal desires and try to just.
If you're in that place, because I've been in both ways. There was times that I cheated like a motherfucker, but as I got older and this last go round, I did not cheat, and I don't know why I did not cheat, but I stayed and I did. Just one person, but before this period of my time now, I'd have cheated and never looked back and didn't give a damn.
Right.
But
maybe when I'm 50 and above, it won't be no big thing.
I'm not even saying I won't go back to doing the way I did years ago, because I didn't like what just happened this go round. So I don't think I want to do it that way again. So yeah, you learn from it, you do something different. I'm not saying I might go all the way back, but I'm going to do some things a little different.
You live, you learn.
Right. Because I know I don't want to be celibate. I don't want to be one of them women that say I went 15 years without it. I'm going to hump on somebody's so I don't care how that go. Right. I'm not going 15. I might do a year. I might even do a 2 years so I can make sure whatever I'm doing and I come back out doing it, I'm doing it my way.
Right.
It has to be done my way.
And that's all I'm saying.
However it goes.
When I was in my 20s, I went celibate for almost 8 months. Only because I went to another country, and in Saudi Arabia ain't nobody to have sex with. So it wasn't a choice thing. So I don't even like when people say, oh, I didn't have sex for this long. But right, and there's a reason. And a lot of times, as you get older, when Trina said she tried it. You get with somebody, as the post say, what if you met this perfect guy and everything was good except the sex? Trina said she tried it. Lots of women have tried it. Lots of guys have tried it. But at some point, they realize how much they miss it, and that's what they do. Our minds.
And as much as I love oral, I can get me some oral and don't. At least in my mind, and don't ever need but I can't. I really can't, because in that relationship where where we didn't have intercourse, I got the oral, but it's like, damn, this ain't enough. It's cool today, but damn, tomorrow I need something else. I'm craving for something else, but you can't give it to me. So
right, that carpet burning sex come into play. That raw energy, that passion. It's needed for people who are a lot of people who are sexually active. And like I said, that's one of the things that when we keep being in denial about it, when it hits you hard, because you're like, oh yeah, I can get this up.
And it sucks because you torn, like you really don't want to, you really don't want to step out. You want to be faithful. You want to believe that you can do this. I can do this. And you don't want to hurt the person and stuff. You don't want to cheat either. You just messed up. So then it's just one of them situations. I won't ever put myself in that again until I get to a point. Until I get to a point where my sex drive just gone, then fine. Then we can do the companion thing. But for now, I'm not ready. So, like Sin said, she did a situation and she'll do it different next time. I just know not to do that again. You live, you learn. I learned that I'm not ready to do that. So,
right. And like I said, that just comes.
You're going to cheat next time.
There are people.
You're going to cheat next time.
I can't hear you, Lau.
He said you're going to cheat next time.
No, I'm not going to cheat because I'm always up front. I just know how to remove myself quicker from situations.
Right.
But
right.
I'll be like, okay,
get some freedom.
It's not moving this way. We can still be cool, but I'm going, it won't be about cheating. It'll be about me doing what I want to do.
Right.
Right. And that's all it is. Because, when there was another post about, and we're going to probably talk about this after the break, about when certain things stop. And I say it all the time. It's not an age limit. It's an experience thing. If people ain't experienced something, it don't matter how old. If they never experienced it, then they don't know. So they can't be over it just because they're 50, And I think that's what we're going to come back with. We're going to take a quick break because we got to let the sponsors do what they do. Then we're going to come on back with my fiery guest, live getting his rock on, and we're gonna let the Crips and the Blood do their thing. So take us to a break there, Mr. Evans.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
It was a monumental game for A&M and Tampa. It was a monumental game. Somebody had to lose, and thank God it was them this time.
We knew it was going to be a battle. Look at Jake Avis' record. 202 and 36, I think, some off-the-wall figures.
And nobody would play him because they didn't want to take a chance of getting beat. But the truth of it is,
over 46,000 tickets. Blacks were sitting in the east stands. Whites were sitting in the west stands. And the score wound up 34-28.
The only thing we proved that we wasn't inferior, that we were not inferior, and we were not afraid.
For one night, for 160 minutes, we was better than them.
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
Champagne stuff. I don't even like champagne, but the Moscato one, I like it.
We back on the air, y'all. So y'all stop saying y'all alcoholic tendency with the people. Let them think. Let them think wrongly that y'all close to wholesome, knowing I ain't had no wholesome guesses.
Well, they know I ain't wholesome. I don't even pretend to be wholesome.
Yeah,
what is wholesome?
Just
ain't nobody ever achieved.
Excuse me. Just the host is wholesome. So, all right, this what I want to talk about next. Okay, I got petty hell in here, so we're gonna get to this section of, and everybody know who been in the news lately, and we talked about some of the things, and I always bring Roy into this because Roy love his hashtag is Black Women Are Everything. And I see people on both sides of the fence trying to defend this man or trying to equate him to pastors or whatever. I even seen guys talking about, oh, why y'all hating on this dude? Well, if you don't know who this dude is, you got to know the history. What's going on, Randy? You have to know the history of this dude and why he is receiving so much hatred from women who have followed his BS advice, men who have been victimized by his BS advice. Because what he generically says is that everything is a man's fault. Women, if your man do something, he don't value you, leave him. Women, if your man makes a bad decision, it's because he don't value you, leave him. Can y'all hear me? I think it's your okay, yeah, Eric, I think it's yours. Get rid of that Metro. And that was pretty much his marching theme. This brother blamed black men for everything. And I do blame, don't get it twisted, the women who followed him unknowingly, a lot of it is their fault because they just listening to a brother who's saying stuff. And I do a show. We're gonna put me in the hot seat for a minute. I do a show. Even when Trina didn't want to be around, I talked about my woman until she came forward. Most people didn't even know he had a wife because he never let that be known as he was giving out his information. But he doing this and he doing that. All the stuff he's saying black men, because he was the one who came up with that black men don't cheat shirt.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. You got this out. You got this out while you doing all this cheating. And ladies and gentlemen, don't get it twisted. Everybody makes mistakes. Why he can't be compared to pastors or other people? I ain't met a pastor yet that didn't talk about forgiveness. I ain't seen too many pastors who think that they better than everybody else, but I don't know what church some of y'all go to, because I seen a lot of posts talking about, oh yeah, I don't want to talk about the pastors who doing this. Pastors don't tell people to leave. Pastors tell you to try to work through stuff. They come up with biblical scriptures. They come and tell you about hardships. And of course, y'all know ain't no Bible dude, so I ain't got no scripture for you. All I'm saying is when you try to compare those two to this situation, it's null and void, because you can take advice from anybody. But when they constantly telling you to leave, and people love to tell you to leave, and you know who tells you to leave more than anybody else? Single people and unhappy people. Because unhappy people want everybody to be like them. Misery love company. Remember that. Misery love company. But this brother, and I'm gonna use that term loosely, he ain't even a one-time cheater. He is a serial cheater and a liar and a judger of people. And he always put the black man down. He always put the black man down, except for he the only perfect black dude on the planet. That was the role he played. Ain't no need in defending it. Go back and look at the videos and see where he say, have a conversation with your brother, have a conversation with your man, and tell him how you feeling, and then y'all work on a solution together. Have a conversation. Yeah.
Let me go first so I can get out of here on this one, because I got some stuff to say about here.
Nah, fill me in. Did he get caught or was he cheating? He just found out that he was married. Got caught. So 3 different women came forward, and all this bull BS he been talking. Now he looking crazy.
Yeah. He just find out he was married to one. Knew he was married to one. Was with him since he was with his wife for only 2 years.
Wait. He cheated 3 times, or he married to 3 women?
No, he been. It's 3 women. 3 women that came forward.
Right. Okay.
He was with his wife since he was they were 17, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
He was like 29, so they're not that old.
No, they're young.
No, he's 32.
He's 32 now. Okay, so she's still just as young, so they're still young. And he's made mistakes, and he was doing some things. He was teaching. He was doing his spew, and whoever listened, you listen. And he can't twist your arm to leave your man. He's giving advice, and the advice wasn't wrong, but okay, it came from a hypocrite. But you still got whatever you got out of it, and take what you need and leave what you don't need.
What good advice did he give, Cinnamon?
I'm sorry.
He gave a lot of good advice.
Okay, I'm listening.
He tells you to value your worth. You know, there were some women that, that just didn't. There were certain scenarios that he talked about that made a lot of sense coming just from a man's point of view. Yes, and I always comment on it. Dad, because he could be my son. He's young, and my son's the same age. I'm like, Dad, I'm so proud to listen to this young man talk like this. Yeah, it hurt my heart to hear that he wasn't what I'm not even gonna say he wasn't what he portrayed to be, because he's still a young man and he still gave advice. He came up here and did whatever he did. He's still a man. That's all I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna let that one go.
So I'm gonna jump in right there.
I'm long-winded.
I'm gonna jump in right there, because every time I hear that he's a man, that just like Trina said it perfectly. Monogamy is a choice. It is a practice. It is something you decide to do. This cat, I actually thought he was older. So to find out that he's 32 makes more sense to me, because I'm gonna be honest with you.
Opinion of him a little bit, right? Be like, okay, he's
no, it doesn't. Not for the good. Finding out that he is that age makes me believe he was just doing that just to get some more ass. That's why he was doing that.
Okay, so whatever
he realizes that in this society, hold on, because in this society today, we got so many people who are looking for an excuse and a reason to do shit that they want to do, instead of just being grown up and saying, you know what, this is what I want to do. So he's telling all of these women about how you should value yourself, how you should do that. Listen, I can talk from experience. Even when my ex cheated on me and I had the opportunity to do it, I did not. Because that was what my beliefs told me, that I was going to have to answer for what I did. Not what she did that caused me to do something else. What the hell I chose to do. Okay? And as you're going through these situations, I would listen to him. I'm going to be honest. He always sounded like he was out there. What y'all call it? Caping? And I think
I heard something like that. So I don't even know.
Yeah. The vibe I always got from him is he out here saying this stuff just to get chicks to be all in his inbox.
Right.
Because even as faithful as he is,
so how many other niggas do the same thing? He just profited off of it. Now, I mean, unfortunately, but and some people ain't getting nothing off of it.
And you know, the only messed up thing is like I'm not gonna say he didn't say good stuff because he did. I didn't really follow him like that. I'm not really somebody who followed people giving relationship advice because usually those people, they own life. Usually that's the case. But the only thing about it is that, you know, when he made it seem like that there's men that's like that in the world. None of them. We ain't never witnessed one of them. We ain't never witnessed one of those men. So he's giving that that hope and that faith that men like him do exist, just to find out he ain't even real. Then it's like, damn.
He ain't right. No, those men exist. He just ain't one of them.
Whoa. That's what it was. He's just a young man that hasn't gotten to that place yet. How about that?
Baby, I was 32 and all that stuff. No. 32 and all that. Age ain't got nothing to do with it. Age got nothing to do with that. Age
don't have nothing to do with that. No. Look at Court and Farad. Age don't got nothing to do with that either. You in it to win it or you not.
Experience has something to do with it. And right now, yes, he's young, but I'm sure he needed to experience some things, and now he'll be able to talk some different stuff because now it's a whole different dynamic because now his wife is up here with him. And this is going to be a whole different turn for another direction. Like, what the hell?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Let me say this right quick, and I'm gonna tell you why he ain't like most 20 or 30-year-olds, saying because he constantly dog black men.
He's a very intelligent young man.
No, he ain't. Because if
he's not.
He's a hustler. He's a hustler.
If he was all about the business, you know what? What's the number one reason people like me and Trina? It ain't got nothing to do with age. We're forthcoming about our lack of where we fall short. He kept saying, "No." Let me talk, Cinnamon. But you keep saying, "What do all men do?" All men don't dog other men and make themselves out to be perfect. Cinnamon. He always dogged the black man out, saying what he was above. That's why. Cinnamon, you gonna let me talk? I ain't say nothing when you was talking. Give me this. I'm gonna tell you why. Because you keep saying he 30, he can do this. Cinnamon, I've been 30. All of us been 30. We didn't go around telling women to leave their man at the first sign of trouble. Hell, I don't tell people to leave. I ain't tell people to leave at 30. Most people will tell you to try to work something out. That's when you start giving an ultimatum. If I'm a chronic cheater, if somebody gonna give Trina information, hey, tell him he need to stop. This what he need to do. That's when ultimatums come in. This brother never put out. Since he relationship, he talking about his life and his experiences. He ain't never said, well, you know, I messed up before. He ain't never said he messed up. Even when he was on his little live, what he say? He blamed God. He blamed some other dude who told him that he only said it in word. He got an excuse for everything other than saying it's my fault. I was weak. It's what I wanted to do. That's all. See, so that's what most 20, 30-year-olds do. And if you want to be in somebody's inbox, because people in inboxes, Trina, Noel, I'm sorry, Petty Helen, when dudes come to your inbox, do they start telling you to leave a man because he don't value you? They just try to get theirs. This brother preyed on women. What's the one woman saying? She reached out to him because she was having trouble with her man. What'd he do? He tried to get her. That ain't what most dudes do. That ain't what most dudes do, Cinnamon. You ain't gonna find too many women who can say a man was in their inbox telling them trash about another man that they with and come get with them. That's not. So he picked that lifestyle because in my mind, we can debate this. He looked for women who were suffering from some kind of who had some kind of lack of self-esteem.
A lot of young girls out here like that.
He was a true predator. So he wasn't like most. Even when I was a predator, I preyed on the knowing. I told them what it was up front, but I ain't tell them to leave nobody. I didn't tell them, know your worth. You're a side piece. And if he values black women, he got the shirt say, oh, a black woman created this. Oh, black women are this. but you creating all these side pieces. So how much do you value black women? Now,
So
we got 3 good-looking women on here. How many men tell you all this? And I don't know, Pat, I don't know. Have you ever been a side piece, Helen?
Yes.
And did he lie to you and tell you was all this? I mean, because if you knew, he put it out there. You knew up front. Everybody got a choice to make. Trina done talked about her experiences. She knew what she was doing going into it. Everything was clear. Wasn't nobody lying to get this. And they were younger when this happened. So ain't no defending him what he doing. Talking about that's what 20 and 30-year-olds do, because that is not what men do. You know, some will lie, but they don't sit there and preach how great they are in the process of lying. And then, and my whole issue with the whole thing is, what do we do? What do we do? We start trying to blame her because she got on the tam, because she ain't dressed all up. You know what? If Trina found out I done slept with 3 women in the past 2 years, I guarantee she ain't gonna look like that when she come on here with me. Here, she ain't even gonna come on. She ain't even coming on the live with me. I don't care.
I think it bothered the hell out of me.
The only way she gonna come on the live with me is I got a multi-million-dollar contract and I'm gonna give her a check. But she gonna be just like that girl. She gonna have attitude and sit there like she on Prozac.
Keep doing it.
And she gonna read off a script. Yes, he told me that he did it and we discussed it. I will forgive him and move on as soon as this live ends.
I'm telling you,
but yeah, lots of women been side piece and they knew it. Now it's some who was side piece and didn't know it, but lots of them knew it and they knew what it was up front. It was a lifestyle that they chose. But most of them can't tell you where the man was dogging they main man, because from a guy who was a maintenance man. I didn't care about nobody's main man. I didn't want to have that conversation. They come in, they vent, fine. But I don't want them to be mine. So I want you to get your shit together. Let's have sex and go back to him. Because hopefully he in the condition we talked about earlier. Maybe he just can't perform and you just need a performance guy. Because that's all I want to do. Go ahead, Lyle.
Well, really, I'm gonna be the mediator. I almost see 2 points where I guess with Cinnamon, just because he's young, he do bullshit, they try their game. But when you out here on what social media is today and you spreading that and you are dogging brothers, that ain't cool. Whether it's your motive, your game, or whatever like that, and then to be Mr., so good with the women or whatever like that. It was almost like a Steve Harvey move. You know what I'm saying? You want to give you all the secrets or tell you all this great shit only to make themselves look better, and a lot of guys, he all right to me, but a lot of guys in the entertainment industry, with Steve Harvey, on shit. But but me, as a guy like me from the city, I've done bullshit, I've played all that kind of shit. You should never really have to dog another guy to try to get his girl. I'm really not even thinking about him. I'm thinking about her. If it's somebody I really want to be with or whatever like that, but saying all this hunky-dory, glory shit, women, and one thing I really agree with D about is about leaving. You shouldn't be preaching about leaving. How to work it out. If you don't see there's no way to work it out, if he beating you or the physical violence, thing like that, you leave off the top. But if he's not thinking really to be a great orator, he should be thinking of how to keep some of these black couples together. Because there's some great black couples out there, and we get broke up sometimes too fucking fast. We need some positive voice in there teaching us how to work it out. Through cheating, through adultery, through this, through that. You know what I'm saying?
Do you listen to him, Lyle?
Pardon?
Do you listen to him?
A tiny freaking bit. A tiny freaking bit. So that's why
there are times where he try to keep people together. Like he's telling you to think about some things. He gives you choices. I don't always think. I mean, there may be some things that some people may think that he bashed the guy or whatever the case. But for the most part, as his commentary, it's more like you got a choice. You can value who you are. He gives good perspectives for you to look at. And it's not so much of giving a damn what he does in his personal life. It's like the perspective that he gave. If you take it and you put it towards what you need to apply it, so you can say, okay, you know what? No matter what this man is doing, you decide what you're going to do with yourself with that advice that was given. You know what I'm saying?
Got it, because here's my thing.
For you, in any given time.
He don't want his wife to do that, though. He don't want his wife to do that, though.
He works on that. I get that. He
don't want her to value herself enough to leave his sorry ass.
But she did leave. That's what I'm saying. She said
but he begged her to come back.
He didn't leave.
If he truly believed all that crap he was saying, he would have walked his ass away and he would have let her live her life.
He didn't leave.
I know. I saw.
He did not leave.
But if he truly valued, if he valued her and all, if he really believed what he was saying, he would not have even bothered to go get her back because he would have known that he was not worth it. He was not worth it. She didn't deserve it, but he
wanted it to work.
Let me say something real
but
quick.
can't nobody else want it to work?
Oh my God!
Let me say, I want to give y'all something. I'm ready to real quick.
Noelle got something to say. Let Noelle get her piece in.
I'm sorry. This is hilarious to me because it's obvious that some of y'all have not done your research on this dude. Okay?
I don't want to research him because I don't care about him as a person. That's what that was my point on it.
Okay. He is more than just him cheating. Okay. I think it's funny. It's interesting that we're focusing on the fact that he bashed black men, right? So we're comparing black men's hurt feelings to what all he's done to black women. Can we talk about what he's done to black women? Can we talk about that?
Okay, let's talk, girl.
I personally know 5 black women on my Facebook page who have bought products from him and never received them. And when they contacted him to ask him, hey, where's my stuff? Guess what happened?
Blocked.
They got blocked.
Get out.
Also, when he sleeps with the side pieces, and 2 of them have said this themselves. It's not anything I'm making up. 2 of them have confirmed once he sleeps with them, what's he do? He blocks them. He ghosts them.
No condom.
That's so he's creating victims. What else does he do to black women?
Exactly.
What else he does to black women?
That's
when
right,
they get on his post and they disagree with him, he gets in the inbox and calls them black bitches and bald-headed hoes. Okay? What else does he do to black women? Hold on, I'm not even done yet. I got a lot to say about this nigga. I wrote a blog about Derek Jackson 4 years ago, and nobody believed me. Nobody wanted to hear it. It was just, oh, you hate men. No, I don't hate men. I hate predators. Derek Jackson is a predator. I don't give a damn about the cheating, honestly. That's between him and her. If she's stupid enough to stay there with him, knowing that he is never going to change, that's on her. That's on you. Maybe she's staying because his net worth is $750,000. Anybody know that? He's almost a millionaire. So maybe she's staying with him because she's getting something out of it. What I care about is that he's creating victims, and nobody cares about that. I don't even care about the fact that black men's feelings are hurt because he bashed y'all. You can get over hurt feelings. He's taking
let me say something.
Hold on. I'm not even done though. I haven't even got to the worst part. The worst part is he's had women go get abortion because he didn't want it to be found out.
Choices, right? Did he
put? He had a woman have an abortion by him the month before he got married. He's had women in his wife's bed before, their marital bed. And let's put something else up. Right? She didn't leave him, y'all. She went and visited family. She never left him. She filed for divorce, but she never left. He didn't leave her. I mean, he wouldn't let her leave. Does that sound like a good man to you? That will not let a woman that he's a good man,
but I'm like, why are the women victims? They're not victims. Are they children?
And I'm sorry, Cindy, I have to disagree with you. You know, we sit here, you know, in our own situations.
I'm not saying that he was right about it.
But when we getting dogged out by men in our own personal situations, we'll sit there and whether it lasts or not, we'll be bitter towards them. And then we'll have then we taking this baggage. He is creating baggage in a lot of women. He is creating, he's creating, you know, some of the major problems among the black community with black women and our trust of black men. He is one of those people that is creating that. Like Noelle said, he is a predator.
Everybody is
accountable. He's a predator. It's not just that he's a cheater.
Accountable for their own actions because we're not talking about minors. Am I correct?
You gotta be kidding me.
I don't even want to hear that. I'm sorry.
Yes, dead ass wrong for doing it, but you just as wrong for allowing yourself to be put in that position.
Have you ever heard of vulnerability, being vulnerable?
No.
You just said he should be excused for being 32. You say he should be excused for being young. Now you saying he's
thank you.
Because she brought up a different dynamic. When I'm talking about what I listen to what he's saying, I'm like, regardless that he is young. Okay, that was one of the things that I stuck on, and I stayed on that even when I follow him. I follow a lot of Derek Jackson, and I've been following him for the past.
That explains it.
And his marriage thing, you started seeing when he put the ring on. I don't really care about that because I don't really care about his personal life. That's how much I didn't know about the marriage or none of that because I didn't really care. He wasn't for me. Sometimes I believe that you can hear a message delivered, and it's not about the deliverer. It's the message that's being delivered that you need. And that's what I believe he helped a lot of people do with his books as well. Yes, all of this other stuff is crazy, and however messed up you want to think it is or it's not, or I think, it's some fucked up shit. Because damn it, I've been through some stuff where I've been manipulated with the man, and I wanted things to be.
Then why are you blaming the women? If you've been a victim yourself, why are you blaming women?
Say that again.
If you've been mistreated and mishandled by a man yourself, right?
I'm not a victim.
You just said, I didn't call you a victim. I didn't call you a victim.
Creating victim.
I didn't call you a victim. I'm asking you a question. If you've been mishandled by a man before, right? You've been mishandled by a man before, right? You've been mistreated before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what that feels like, right?
Yes.
You know what that feels like, right?
I don't like it.
I'm sorry?
I don't like it.
You didn't like it, right?
And I
Do you
won't
think
let
those
it
women liked it?
I want to ask. Hey, let me jump in.
Women liked it?
Let me jump in here real quick because I wanted to say something about two. It was two things. The first point that I wanted to say, my dad used to say something to me. He said, "Roy, you always treat a lady like a woman like a lady, even when she doesn't act like one." That's how I live my life. I treat all women. I don't care. I'm not going to start calling no chick out of her name just because she starts acting a certain way with me. I'm not going to do that. I'm always, we indeed talk about being a gentleman all the time. I'm going to be a gentleman in what I consider to be a real man all the time. I'm not going to let you move me to somewhere else. That's the first thing. So this thing about what he was doing, this is part of the situation. And Petty, I think you're looking at it. Brothers aren't, like, we'll put it this way. I know I'm not looking at it from a negative standpoint. Oh, my feelings are hurt because, like I said, I always thought dude was out there just trying to get over. To me, he just sounded like another one of these pulpit pimps,
right?
That you get in a lot of churches. That's the way I looked at it. But see, here's the part, and Darren, we've talked about this on I don't know how many shows over the years, and this is where I'm gonna agree with Cinnamon to a certain extent about what happened with this cat. I get your friends that didn't get their products. That's a bad businessman. He dead ass wrong for that. But how many of these women that he was sleeping with did not know that he was in a relationship? Right. If they didn't know he was in a relationship, then yes, they are victims. If they knew this motherfucker was married and they still sleep with him, they ain't victims.
They ain't victims.
Murderers. That's not the same thing. If he's lying, it's a different situation. If he's lying to women and telling them, "Oh, I'm not married, we just friends," if he's living with this chick and then they saying that and they not believing it, that's on them. But that's the part that I'm gonna have to agree with Cinnamon with. If these chicks cheating with him, helping him cheat on his wife, they are not victims. We gotta stop claiming that all of these people are victims. Because see, I know women who will sleep with a married man and don't think twice about it. If something come out, she ain't no victim. She knew that man was married.
So did you listen to the one video with the one chick who did not know he was with his wife?
No, I told the video.
Right, she didn't know.
That's the point I'm making. Trina, I just brought that up because of what Petty was saying. I wanted to compare that to what Cinnamon, because that's what Cinnamon was saying. So if there is one that was manipulated, that did not know he was with his wife and did not know he was married, yes, she is a victim. The rest of them, no.
And I'm just this whole they weren't minors bullshit. Fuck all that. I'm sorry. I'm glad that
thank you, Trina. Thank you. Because that doesn't even matter. That doesn't even matter at all.
Because once somebody is manipulating you, especially if you're in a vulnerable position and they're taking advantage of that, you are a fucking victim, whether you want to own that shit or not. Yeah, your choice was, I'm gonna mess with them, I'm gonna have sex, but your choice was under the power of manipulation. You're a victim. Whether you want to accept that shit or not, saying you've been dogged out before. You've been dogged out before.
And there's some things but I'm not saying I'm a victim. I'm gonna always hold accountable what I allow, because no one can make you a victim if you choose to walk away from it. If you stay in something longer than, and I'm not gonna. Well, let me reframe this because I don't want it to go back to some domestic thing. I'm talking on this situation right now. women having a choice to decide what you want to do. And I'm just talking on this Derek Jackson, and I don't know much on it. I'm just talking on what Miss Petty said as far as the victims. I never looked at them as victims. I never looked at anything that he did as making victims because, for one, I didn't follow him the way most of the women followed him. I didn't follow him because I thought he was cute and, oh my God, he had me mesmerized. I followed because I liked the message that he shared.
That's why most women followed him, because they thought
there were you said most women, but then there are those that became the groupies. There are those that, as you wanted, are the victims.
That's always though. Hell, Darren got groupies.
What they wanted to be.
And I'm gonna say this because I hear what y'all saying, and age don't mean nothing.
I wasn't done, by the way, Darren.
I'm coming back to you, Helen.
Don't ask women.
Thank you.
When you run across a man who's a true predator, your age don't mean nothing because, and I can say this from experience, you look for certain things, you find their vulnerability, and that's what you attack. And even though you said you didn't want to go domestic violence, it don't have to be domestic violence. It's the same for all true predators. We find that weakness and we prey on that weakness because we know what you're vulnerable to. Because there is
it has nothing to do with the age of the woman.
There's nobody at no age who can say they don't have any vulnerabilities. Everybody is vulnerable at some state. And if I can find that vulnerability quick enough, I can prey on you and you don't have the power to do nothing.
And that's what predators do.
Right. And that's why I say, that's why I've done shows on. I can speak on that predatory behavior because yes, I did it. And so, yeah, I ain't proud of it, but it's there. All you got to do is have the ability to pay attention and exude power because women love, as the song says, money and power. They love. And when they think you got power, they will look to you. And if you play your cards right, which he didn't, all you gotta do is play your cards right and be patient, and you can sit there and you can lull them in, or you can be a hardcore predator and just attack them. Like me and Trina saw a video, and I ain't gonna stay on this too long, about the girl at the gas station who got hit with all them wannabe pimps. One of them gonna get to her, and for one simple reason, she gonna need to be saved from them other ones. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
And even with that though, even with that video, when you posted that video, you know, I saw the comments from a lot of green women. I'm not green. I know a lot of shit about a lot of shit that I'm not about to get into. But, you know, I was listening to what these guys were saying to her. And a lot of women like, oh, they just disrespectful. Oh, they just coming up on her. When you don't know, you don't know. There was a gang full of freaking pimps, a bunch of damn pimps that look like regular ass dudes because you don't know. You don't know no better. Now, had she got involved with one of them dudes and, you know, he get all into her, depending on when, you know, where she at, if she vulnerable, he is preying on her. You know, it's just like, I got so much to say. I'm about to just chill out because I'm like,
yeah, but and we'll do that on another show.
Crazy.
But yeah,
Trina.
But yeah, that's like Petty and Trina saying, a predator is a professional. When they good at it and he picks his crime, it's like what's that show we watch, Love and Lock Up? The little ugly dude, he picks women with low self-esteem. He picks them. That's why he got a bunch of them because all of them are unattractive. So you pick the right predator because you can look at what they do, and prettiness ain't got nothing to do with it. Money ain't got nothing to do with it. All I gotta do is find your insecurity.
Yo,
I gotta do.
I had a guy approach me one time. It was forever ago, but I had a guy approach me one time. I'm wearing a rag on my head, not the nice head wraps that I rock today. I'm talking about just a regular ass rag on my head, an oversized t-shirt and some sweatpants. I was at the laundromat, going across the street to the store. Dude tried to holler at me. I thought it was kind of crazy. I was like, why would you try to holler at me while I look like this? And he was like, yo, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. He was like, when I see somebody that's dressed like you, I think that they got low self-esteem and they're gonna be easy. You think motherfuckers ain't, man, look, they be out here preying on you. They look for women like that. They look for a low self-esteem. Derek Jackson, he is that guy. He's that guy.
Can I piggybacking off of what Trina just said? That's why, for me personally, the cheating is in the background. The cheating is just what exposed him. He's a predator. And when I said earlier that I didn't finish. I mentioned him selling the products that people didn't receive. And that's just women I know. It's not just me. I mentioned him disrespecting Black women in their inboxes. I mentioned the abortions. But what I didn't get to mention was that he also steals intellectual property from Black women, meaning that a lot of those videos that you saw, Cinnamon, he sold the topic and his opinion and his perspective and his advice from Black women that were not paid for it. He was paid for it, because he's paid per view. He's paid for the ads on his YouTube channel. He's paid for those little raggedy ass books that he sells. He's paid for his merchandise, but he's stealing intellectual property from Black women. And this happens all the time. And nobody talks about it.
Okay.
They think we shouldn't be paid for our own opinions and perspectives and stuff. That's the worst part to me, that he's a thief. He's a predator. He's
So
also a cheater.
That situation,
And his,
is that not being taken care of?
I'm sorry?
I'm saying, is that being addressed? Because that's the first time I heard that from you. I'm like, wow. So I'm like, are other people talking about that?
Is what part of it being addressed?
When you're saying that, him stealing from the women, and I'm like, wow.
Oh no, it's not. You know why it's not being addressed? Because anytime a conversation comes up about holding a famous Black man accountable for how he's treated Black women, what happens? We start blaming the women. They're not victims. She knew what she was getting into.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have told him her opinion. It's always our fault.
Why does that? I think that's a different dynamic. But okay, I get where you're trying to go with that. I can agree.
No, I'm going there. I have a lot of opinions
I
on
can
Derek.
disagree on that part of it, but I understand what you're saying.
Like this, it's amazing to me that a conversation about a Black male predator somehow turns to talking about what the women did wrong.
No,
you
see what they did with R. Kelly? Putting it on the women.
Yeah, just like what they did with R. Kelly. Yeah.
No,
we don't ever hold the men accountable. It's always our fault. At the end of the day, it's our fault. It's always our fault.
Right. And this is one of the things that, even though it's because we coming from a venomous place, it's one of the times that I'm really proud that most men are stepping up and calling him out. Because and I hate when people say we got to stick together. And I always say this: the first thing we got to do is we got to start killing predators in our midst. Because you know what? That's what the white people do. As soon as they got a predator, they get them out. You don't see none of them Me Too white guys. You don't see them around. We will defend the predator because we'll blame everything on the system. Like somebody posted a meme, or they going after Derrick Jackson because they trying to buy NBC, and they were being funny. But that's what we do, because I don't care what excuse these women give. He was the cause of it, and we have got to be more protective, which is why I said, now he talk about values, and even when I do this show, even part of all of what we do is me and Trina both willing to expose our weaknesses. We've talked about fights we had and things we had to go through. And when people ask me questions, the people who've inboxed me and asked me to do shows, I have never, ever suggested leaving. Work through it, find out me and Roy talked about this, find out what your preferences and priorities for. Is this something that you can work through? Is it not? But you have to start looking at a bigger picture, because some people can't leave because of finances. Some people can't leave because what master manipulators will also do, especially in relationships. And we had the conversation last week. They'll gain financial control to keep you trapped. So as much as you want to do something, you can't. It ain't easy to walk away, and it don't even have to be domestic violence. This is where when we start talking about the values and the cheating, because I'm the primary breadwinner in our relationship, does that mean Trina has got to accept my cheating? Of course it don't. But this is one of the ways that we try to manipulate people. Let me find somebody who can't do this so she can't leave. And then everybody say, well, Trina grown, she could have did this. Trina can't. If she wasn't making her own income, like I said, if we talked about last week, if I was doing 100% income, what's she gonna leave with? What's she gonna leave with? She under my control. And she this age, she should know better. It sounds good, but when you get caught up in the moment, and silly woman, Trina, Noelle, me, Lyle, Roy, ain't now one of us can say we ain't never been caught up in the moment and realize we might have been in a little over our head in one situation or 20. And you can't just get it right then. It takes time to figure that out. And this is what we got to do better, and start calling these people out when we see that they're predatory. And whether the women are complicit knowingly or not, we can't keep bringing them to Front Street. We can't.
No. It's not about them.
Right.
It's not about them at all.
For every woman that want to sleep with me, Trina just said, I got groupies. If they sleep with me, at the end of the day, whose fault is it? And I've said this a million times. My commitment is to Trina. Ain't now one of them committed to Trina. Nope. So Trina ain't got no business being mad at them or raising him. It's me. If Trina cheat, I should be mad at Trina, not nan guy who want to get it. So, that's what we get off at. We start blaming other people. Oh, they didn't have to do this. They didn't want to commit. He was married. Whatever he felt, he was married. He's telling all this other stuff. We do this. He's saying this. His age ain't that important, because he knew.
Can I jump back in for a second too? I wanted to clear something else up. he is married, he hasn't let it be known that he was married this whole time.
Right.
He only just recently posted her because he knew he was about to be exposed. Nobody knew this nigga was married. He wasn't showing her.
Now he want to say her name. Bitch, don't say my name now. Don't say my name.
Right.
Just act like you ain't married no more. You know, just act like you ain't married. Now you want her name is Danae Jackson. But bitch, no.
No. But he chooses to make her big debut to the world. He chooses her debut to the world to be in a situation where she's being humiliated.
Right.
Think about that for a second. His wife, the mother of his two children, I'ma hide you so I can keep these chicks in my inbox. Oh, I'm about to be exposed now. So let me, paint this picture that I adore my wife. What wife?
Right. What wife?
Because even though me and Trina didn't come out
I
public,
would have killed him, but
how did most of y'all find out I was married? Y'all saw the ring, y'all saw the ring. I didn't say nothing because me and Trina said we were just gonna do it low key, but I put the ring on. When people said it, I didn't deny, but it was there. And Cinnamon, you've been with me for a long time. Remember, I used to do the show in front of the door because it was just me. Trina would be over in the background when she was my girlfriend. The closer we got, the more Trina started being by my side. Are there women who like me? Of course there are. Are there guys who like? Of course there are. But we made it known we were together. So to sit there and try to hide that until it come out, no. But and like I said, I didn't want to talk about him a whole lot because he's just foul. That's why I wanted Roy, and I wanted you too, Cinnamon. But we got to do a better job of protecting the victims and stop worrying about how old they are, because age don't mean nothing if your experiences don't match up. I can. There are
experiences already with this.
Right, but I'm saying there are 50-year-old women and I was gonna do this. We ain't got time, but somebody was asking about age. A woman who is 20, who gets married at 20 for 30 years, is 50. Does she have the same experience of a 50-year-old woman who's never been married? No, they not even close. But if we looking at her age to know certain things about the dating, we're the one who are demented. She only dated one guy. She only dated one guy. But the 20-year-old who never got married dated 20, 30, 40 guys. She's way more worldly. Because we keep saying age this, age that. And I said over and over again, experiences dictate everything.
Absolutely.
If you ain't got no experience, your age don't mean nothing.
Right. It's no different from the guy who goes to prison at 18 and he gets out at 40 and trying to get into a relationship. Oh, you should know, but he don't know a damn thing. He's still an 18-year-old mentally. You know? So
and like I said, my thing is just I want us to concentrate more on preventing it happen for the next person. If we're gonna do something, like I said, me and Trina have been open about all the crazy conversations that we have. Hey, me and Trina, we've done so many things the wrong way. We started long distance, so sex was never a part of us. So it helped us get to know each other a little bit better. Now, had we been in the same place, we probably wouldn't. If she lived in Georgia or I lived in New York, we probably wouldn't be in the same place now because we wouldn't have had the chance to have the conversation that we have. And they don't all go good, but we've had crazy conversations that I guarantee that most people ain't have. And how long we been together, Trina? 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
And we've been together 4 years, but some of the conversations we have, I guarantee, and girls I've been with way longer, we never got to this point because sex was in the way. We never got a chance to truly know each other because
is this a segue?
I was thinking it, but I don't know if I got time. But yeah, I'm just saying, but we got to look at how we do things and how we start judging people and how we start giving out the victim label, because whether we call them victims, and I don't want to call them victims, but they were prey. And because hell, a lot of animals that are preyed on, they don't know they finna be victims, and a lot of these women didn't know until they got caught up in the moment. But
and
we still have to protect them.
And some people look at the word victim like it's a bad thing. I mean, hell, if they alive and they live through it, I mean, you call them a survivor if that's what you want to call them, but at some point you were a victim before you were a survivor.
That's true.
Go ahead.
So maybe the question is, how do we, what do you do to prevent predators like Derrick Jackson from even becoming relevant?
Well, let me say this.
Go ahead, Lau.
I think that you're doing, young lady, with the exposure that you just gave us on this show is more depth than what most of us knew. We knew about the surface. So you said, where do we start? You are starting it, and we need to get the word out even more. I don't think Darren agrees with the shit. I mean, I don't agree with it. And when we talk about the victim and predator, it's just like the trafficking of women and kids and shit that we got here in Atlanta. It's crazy. So raising awareness, more people getting the word out. And I think that's something great that we're doing right here. You know, we didn't all agree on all the points of the shit, but we know it's wrong. And I think we're all in a certain amount of agreement in this. So we just got to get the word out more and do more.
You know, the sucky thing about that is that when they want to idolize you, they're not going to listen to anything that you have to say. When people are stuck in their beliefs, it's called identity protective cognition. When they are hell bent on a belief, there is not a damn thing you can say, not a damn thing you can show them, or anything that's going to make them stray from that thought. So before Derek Jackson got exposed, it didn't matter what Noel said to anybody. It didn't matter because they were so like, oh my gosh, well, he's this great guy, he's blah blah blah, oh, you just hating, you just jealous, blah blah blah. So unfortunately, there really is no way to just be like, oh well, he's this, he's that, because ain't nobody going to listen to you until they see that in their face where they can't deny.
Yeah, and they definitely don't listen to Black women. You're right about that, Trina. They don't. No one ever listens to Black women, and we're always right. We've been right about so many people.
Girl,
we can make a list of them. Nobody ever hears us when we say, "Hold on a second, something's fishy right here."
And the reason that Cinnamon, the reason I really wanted you and Trina and even Noelle, even though I'm learning more stuff about her, is because I want women who have been through something to explain how they got there and how they got past it. Because when we get caught, when women get caught in situations, most time it wasn't a plan, it was a happenstance. And before you knew it, they were, I don't want to say in over their head, but they were in a place they didn't want to be, and they had to have a plan because they ran across somebody who was slick enough to catch them with their guard down. And
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the comments, and Chris Tracy says DVP spoke all the women he's been with were they victims that DVP was with. Well, he clearly said that he let them know what time it was. So you're not a victim if somebody tells you the truth and give you the option to be in that situation or not. You're not a victim. When you sit there and you lie to somebody and you manipulate them into believing that something is what it isn't, then you're a victim. But you're not a victim if you keep it real.
Yeah, if I tell Cinnamon, let's get together because me and Trina having problems, then yeah, I don't fall into that same category. Only reason I said, you know, and I admit that I was predatory in nature, but all of mine were willing participants.
Yeah, so stop saying that. Yeah. Stop saying that.
But he
that was a stretch.
Yeah, he was truly preying on them, and like I said, he ain't so much my issue as us, because as I look at the women who talking about what she should have did, what we should have done, there are women who will judge you, Cinnamon, saying what you should have did. Noah, how did you do this? You supposed to be smart. You this. Trina, you street savvy. How you get caught up in this? Ain't nobody invulnerable. Everybody has an insecurity. Everybody got a weakness. All it takes is the moon to be in the right spot.
Timing, timing.
But we gotta quit trying to figure out why she became a victim. That ain't important. Why they became a victim. Let's get at the victimizer. Why is he doing that? And he's doing it with such frequency. It ain't a one-time thing. We'll forgive anybody for one time. And I told people the reason we ain't forgiving
multiple victims over time with people. Does it continue to be the person's fault when you continue to be a victim in the same circle?
Oh yeah, because you're a serial. Yeah, Cinnamon.
Do you become accountable for your actions?
So she's asking about like once he has a victim, if she continues, that's what she's asking about, not different women. Like if she continues on to.
But that's why I would need you ladies to speak, because I would say in my situation, what I hear from a lot of women is once a man knows about you, because women a lot of times they don't like openly admitting a lot of mistakes, but they don't like moving on to new people so quickly sometimes. So sometimes they stay because some have false hope that something is going to change. So it's different, and everybody, that's why I wanted you three, especially because you guys can tell your story as women better than I can. I can tell you what women have told me, but you three have openly said that you silly woman retired. Trina talk about her. Like I said, I'm learning more about Noelle, but you women can tell a story and get other women to understand.
Not only do we not like to always mess with different guys, but the longer that we deal with them, we start defending them. What is that? What do I always say? I got when you be like
Stockholm.
Stockholm. It's like a Stockholm syndrome kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like you start defending. Even like people who got kidnapped and been kidnapped, they start defending their captor. Like, damn, you're the victim, but you're defending your captor. You're defending the person that is causing you the most harm because you're so into it. Now you're so brainwashed. Brainwash happens to everybody, not just children, not just minors. Brainwash look, I done been there. I'm not going to tell that part of it, but I done been there. I done been brainwashed as a street savvy person. I'm supposed to know better than this, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that shit. And he got me good. So, anybody can get brainwashed. There's no age limit to it.
And that's all I'm saying. Because like I said, that's the reason I wanted you three, because you guys got stories to tell. And y'all know most of my show is women. They need to hear from y'all. When they inbox me and they say stuff, they got stuff that you can talk about. I can tell them from a male perspective. But I ain't giving relationship advice. I can just tell them what they need to look for. But you women can tell what's going through, because I don't know what emotions y'all got going. I don't know all the things they say to y'all. Like I said, I was never a predator in the sense of I was trying to victimize women. I was a predator in the sense of I wanted multiple women. But hey, this is what it is. So you got a choice. So
okay, so we're gonna drop that, right?
Yeah,
you gonna stop saying you was a predator. Stop saying that.
Yeah, we'll just say I was. We'll just say. We'll just say I was a serial sex guy.
I did want something you just said, Darren, though, a second ago about you don't want to give relationship advice because you're not a woman. I personally feel that's the solution to stop making Derrick Jackson's irrelevant. Black women need to stop asking these Black men online for love and relationship advice. Why are you going to the men for advice about love? For what? You go to your grandma, your auntie, your mother, your best friend, your older sisters, the older women in your neighborhood, the older women that you trust, your best friend, her mother, her aunties. Why are you going to men?
Somebody that's going to give an unbiased opinion, somebody that's not choosing sides. Yeah.
That like you're going to go to the hunters for advice on how not to be prey. Does that make any sense?
Well, and the thing is even with women, because I think men do it in reverse and women do it. You go to somebody who you think will be honest with you about the situation. You don't ever go to somebody. You don't go to somebody who you think wants you on the slide, ask them questions about anything. But I know women who I could ask questions. When me and Trina had problems, there's 2 or 3 women I could call because they would call me out on my BS. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I wanted to talk to them because I needed a woman's perspective. I mean, I could ask loud, but loud don't think like a woman. So I needed a woman who could call me on my BS. And women do it all the time. They ask guys, as Trina would say, I know when a guy wants Trina know when a girl want me. We may miss all the clues. So sometimes it ain't bad going to somebody. You just need to make sure they got your best interest, or they have no interest in becoming part of your inner workings. And then
I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. And the reason why I don't agree with that is, can you name one Black woman online giving love and relationship advice who has a list of men that she's preyed on? Can you list one?
No, because most of them don't admit it. So, I mean, I kind of don't get that.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's that. I think that's just not the nature of feminine energy. Is to create. I don't want to say victims, but to create. Not that women are perfect. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is it's the nature of masculine energy to be self-serving. It's the nature of men to go after what they want. It's the nature of men to look out for themselves first. That's not the nature of feminine energy.
Okay, well, I would disagree with you on that, because it's too many men who've been abused that couldn't say nothing because of the culture. So yeah, I would totally disagree with you on that, because we've been taught that. Because I would probably say that there are 3 women who victimize me, but because you're a man, you're supposed to be like, oh man, you got that, and everybody make you feel like it's a good thing when it wasn't. So yeah, I'm gonna say it's way more women than people know about. They just know. They can say whatever they want to say, and they're like, man, you complaining because somebody gave you some? Oh, you the man. Like I say, well, R. Kelly got some woman, he 9-10, some woman who getting him. All his friends think he the man, but he's being victimized. He's being mentally abused physically. So yeah, I'm
R. Kelly's a victim? Wait, what?
Oh yeah, R. Kelly said a babysitter started doing it with him. That's why he got. That's
okay. I thought you meant as an adult. Okay.
No. Yeah, it started early, and that's what created him. So yeah, there are plenty of women, we just don't know them because they can't be as forthcoming because we're judgmental. As Roy said, somebody said it's the double standard. When a man does it, it's one way. When a woman does it, it's seen another way. When a man is victimized, it's a cool thing. But when we do it to a woman,
Okay, I'll give you that. I see what you mean. But I still don't think that women need to be going to men for love and relationship advice. Like, I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
And I disagree with that a little bit because, like, I mean, I agree with what you said about how we should, go to somebody that we know. But like, I know I will go to my brother because my brother is gonna, he's gonna give me that male perspective, and then I'm like, "Yo, Trina, you dead ass wrong." You know what I mean? You really want to go to somebody whose opinion that you respect and somebody that's unbiased, somebody that's not gonna just.
Trina, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. I left something out. I'm so sorry. I meant men that you do not know. Right. You don't listen to some random stranger online for love and relationship advice. Why would he have your best interest at heart? Your brother would, your father would, your uncle would, your dad, but some man online, like, black women are too stigmatized. He's attractive. He's got nice muscles. Oh, he must know what he's talking about. No, the hell he doesn't.
Okay, Noel. So I'm glad you cleared that up because that's one of the things that I was going to come on that I want to talk about because you absolutely.
I got you, Al.
Yeah, you absolutely have to have somebody of the opposite sex, and this is something that me and Darren, we, like I said, talked about for years, and like he said, you have to have somebody of the opposite sex who you can go to who is going to be honest with you about who you are and your parts and stuff and where they look at things being different and stuff. I had a situation where I had to call a friend and I was like, yo, and I called two women and I said, you know what? I need to ask you a question because I value your opinion and I know you're going to be real with me. Neither one of them had any intentions of wanting to do anything with me. So we knew it was going to be legit information. But now back to this other thing about the feminine energy. So you need to understand something. I know a guy who talked to his cousin-in-law. It was his wife's cousin. His wife's cousin caught her cheating with another man in her parents' house while they were away. She told, the cousin, he went and told his aunt and uncle what was happening. The chick came back and was able to manipulate the situation to where her parents was like, oh no, that's not what was going on.
We're not following you, right?
He walked
in. Wife's cousin, sister, brother.
I'm trying to just get in the thing. The woman was caught cheating by someone. And she was able to manipulate. Women can cheat, manipulate, and lie better than we can.
Oh, that's not what I was saying at all. I'm not saying that women don't cheat.
Well, okay, right.
I'm not saying that women aren't predators.
Oh, that's what it sounded like you said that women don't. No. You said the feminine energy is not one to be perfect. No, it's some of that feminine. What we have to realize with energy, not all of the intentions used with energy are good. Energy is just like anything. Right. It's a tool. Just like people who talk about magic, people who talk about it. There are certain things in the universe that are neutral. Some people are charismatic as hell. People are literally naturally just drawn to who they are before they even open their damn mouths. It is up to whoever that person is to how they're going to use that gift on people.
Right. Anybody can be.
Can I give you an example?
Doing some dirt.
Roy, can I give you an example of what I'm talking about? Maybe this will help clear up what I was talking about. If you go to Quick Trip, right, 11 p.m. at night, right, and you're getting some gas, right, and you're standing at the pump, and there's nobody around you, right? If you see a tall man lingering, would you have the same? I'm sorry, if you saw a tall woman lingering nearby you, would you have the same fear towards her presence that you would have towards a tall man lingering near you? That's what I mean when I say the nature of the energy. I'm not saying that women can't be predators. That's not what I'm saying at all. Did that make any sense?
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Here's the thing, though. I get what you're saying, but because of where I'm from, you know what? No, I am going to be more concerned looking around with a woman who just kind of walks up to me. Because see, I'm from Miami. They used to have chicks who would come out to places and would set dudes up to get jumped.
Okay.
All right. So you gotta know.
Okay.
I'm gonna be less worried about a dude because if a dude roll up on me the wrong way, damn it, we gonna fight.
Okay.
So
okay. I mean, I don't really know what to say to that, but I feel like my point is intentionally being ignored.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, though.
But you're saying generically, but it's like, you know, when I talked about even as a single man dating, why I didn't like women coming to my place, because they have become the untrusted one, because you hear about too many women setting people up. So would I trust a woman coming at me? No, because as soon as they start trying to use their woman, I'm nervous about them. Men don't usually hide their intention. You can tell how they walk up, how they feeling. Women will try to come in under the radar. So I get what Roy's saying, and like I said, you got to consider where we at now, because before you didn't hear about all these women going over a man's house, setting him up and unlocking the door so her friends could follow him. So yeah, nowadays women can't be trusted either, because men don't want to take women to their house until they get to know them either. So it's now that's one of the things that's pretty much even. Women are vicious, and they're known to set stuff up. So, and I get what he's saying. I get where you're trying to come from, but that was the 20th century. In the 21st century,
right?
Women rising up the crime chart. They not just the dainty females no more. They the schemers and the plotters. If you want to find a successful organization,
I wonder where they learned that from.
No. Who taught us? Because most of us grew up in single family households. Who taught us?
Here we go.
You asked, but how did guys who grew up in single parent households learn the game? So you can't ignore one to discuss the other one. Women have been the best survivors forever. And and it's just like when we did a show one time, and Trina had brought this up, where we see women telling their daughters what to get from men, but they telling their sons not to do this for women. Women control that. It wasn't men controlling that. Women were presenting two different messages to two different groups. That's something that we cannot get around. Now, was it for bad reasons? No. But you know, they telling their daughters, find a man who got money, but they telling their sons, don't give no woman your money, make her do this, this, and this. It's that mixed message. So guys learn how to be, because we learn from women how to get to women. We didn't learn that from men. We learned that from women. And that was part of the transition. But like I said, when you come on and we get to the submission, we're gonna talk about that too.
No.
That's what you said. You want to talk about submission, but it's 3 minutes till the bewitching hour, and they done sent me 2 temperature checks because it's hot up in here. I'm about to break a sweat. So what we gonna do? Because it looked like Lyle on the road. I don't know if he's going to rob somebody. So.
I'm good. Right, bro. I'm here.
I'm gonna let you get your goodbyes in first, so you can let your window down and do your thing, because I know you're gonna have some sound. So, Lyle, go ahead and tell them how to find you.
I got air conditioning, man. I'm just rolling to the store, bro. You know, I work all day, so during the day I'm at work. I'll be having like an hour in between, man. But Makeup and More, love the show, man. This was a good and heated show. But, the biggest thing was about the information. And no matter what viewpoint we was coming from, the biggest thing is, what do we do now? And then, like this young lady, Miss Petty, getting the information out more about him is a big thing, and that's the part that we can do. You know, and if there's anybody who is a victim, you know, we need to try to help whenever possible. That's me. Makeup and More. Find me on Facebook. But great show, man. That's what I got to say.
Are you on Instagram, Lyle?
Yeah, it's makeup _and _more. So my name is Makeup and More, but the underscores just separate the word.
Okay.
And that's More with 2 O's, like my name, Moore.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cool. Love y'all. Hey, great show.
All right, Petty Helen and More Petty Helen. Tell us about what you do and how to find you.
I am a medium. I talk to dead folks. Anybody that you love that passed on, I can talk to them for you and get any messages about your life, your money, your love life, whatever, to you. And I'm Petty Helen Burrows on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Wow.
San, what you got for me?
Hey, I am Cinnamon Brown. I am that person that has retired the silly woman, you know, and that's my message that I bring to a lot of women now. The silly things that we deal with men, holding ourselves accountable and being accountable for our friends, our sisters, not just Black women, our sisters all together, and teaching. Each one teach one. through your message. And it doesn't mean that I'm perfect, that I'm giving you a message. I'm just sharing whatever my experience is at that moment with another woman so that she can help to retire that silly behavior that holds a lot of us women back. I am on Facebook, Cinnamon Brown. I'm on Instagram. That's Poetically Speaking 70 on Instagram. And I created a fan, what's that, an OnlyFans page? That's my, I wanted to see what it was about, so I'm new to this, but I'm gonna learn it.
Get it, girl.
I was like, they said we can make money doing that. Let me see what I can really do. So yeah.
I'm on there too. I just argue with men.
Yeah, so so I'm on the social media platforms all over. So I think I am Poetically Speaking on OnlyFans, and or is it? Yeah, it's OnlyFans. It's fans on OnlyFans, right? I got to remember how to say it.
OnlyFans.
It's OnlyFans. Okay, so I'm Poetically Speaking on there. So yeah, you can follow me.
Don't forget to tell them about your poetry page, because Cinnamon got to get you pregnant poetry.
Well, the poetry page I do. It's on Cinnamon Brown on Facebook, and as well as on Instagram. That's where I post most of my poetry. But right now, I'm thinking that I'm going to take all my good, erotic, nasty stuff, and I'm going to do it to my OnlyFans so people can pay or tip me to see my poetry, because it's not that good. So that's my erotic stuff. My erotic stuff will be on there.
And can I see that glass one more time, Sam?
Yes. This is.
Oh yeah, she got a glass, boy.
See it? I don't know.
She got the pimp glass.
There you go. She got that glass from out
pimp glass.
That's Miss Trina. She blessed me. Can you see it all? I don't know if you can see everything.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay.
We can see it.
All right, Trina, creator of Little Things by Clear, who everybody got a glass they be flexing with. Tell them who you are and what you're doing, when you ain't in Facebook jail.
Trina Marie, when I'm not in Facebook jail, I don't even really be on Facebook too much. You can find me on Facebook as Trina Marie. I am the creator of Little Things by Clear. I don't know if you can see this stuff. I got my little bling with my name, all the little jewels and stuff. I got all kind of glasses and stuff. I don't know if y'all can see that Black King on there with the chest piece in the middle. I don't know if you see that. Like all kinds of stuff. See the name, bling bling. When you come around my city, bling bling. No, I'm just kidding. But that's who I be.
All right. Super producer, you there?
You got it, homie.
All right. So I'm your host, DVP, and I'm gonna say I'm the creative consultant behind Little Things, because I might as well take a little credit. And it's the Black King glass, the beer mug, and I got my show glass, and this the one she be trying to get me to drink out of before she take advantage of me.
That's so pretty.
Hey, you got to check out her page. She got a bunch of different kinds, so I got a bunch of them in here because she be trying to get me drunk during the show. Then she take advantage of me, even though she swears
get it, Trina.
Yeah, she swears she got Stockholm, but I'm the one who got an AA membership. I want to thank my guests, and as always, anybody who knows how the show goes, no, this ain't about us agreeing. This is about us giving you different viewpoints so that everybody can have something. Because if we all agree, then we ain't reaching nobody. We're reaching the same person. And, my motto is each one teach two. So everybody need to be able to connect with something. And we don't have to agree. But notice we don't get in the name calling. And that's all I want y'all to understand. Just because we don't disagree don't mean nobody is stupid, dumb, or a house. It don't mean none of that. Let's learn to have intelligent conversation. When we ask questions, be open to information. If you ain't open, don't ask the question. And that's all I want us to do. But let's get rid of the cancel culture unless we realize that what we're trying to cancel is a cancer to us. Then we cancel it. But don't just cancel somebody because you don't like them. You should have a really good reason, especially if you want to start talking about it publicly. Other than that, one of my favorite things is I love to share stuff and let other people tell their experiences. These three ladies can tell you things I can never tell you about a lady's mentality. Me and Lyle can tell you things. And y'all know me and Lyle don't never agree because Lyle is politically correct. And I'm running from the law.
When you talk about how people always talk about how we should stick together, we should all stick together. I like this this one proverb or whatever that I read. It's the forest is shrinking because the trees kept voting for the axe because his handle was made of wood and they thought it was one of them.
Right.
It's one of the things we always gotta, keep in mind. Everybody, all skin folk ain't kin folk. So,
so let's
and
keep
some
moving.
people should be canceled.
Right.
And they need to be.
Let's keep moving forward. Let's have some healthy debates. Don't be so mad with everybody who disagree with you. See if they got a valid point and engage in dialogue. That's one of the reasons I love Facebook. I get to learn stuff from people that I would have never learned in general conversation because these people are not in my true world. And use that for what it's worth. If you find something good, share it. Cinnamon has a detective agent. I don't know if she's still running, but she has a portrait, which is off the chain. Like I say, you don't need to read the portrait and take birth control. Two things can't exist at the same time.
You're gonna make some babies.
Yeah, Noelle, Noelle is a medium. So if that's what you want to do, reach out to Noelle. Trina Marie got glass for those of y'all who drunks and y'all going to the A anonymous class or whatever. Get you a glass. Trina, you got a picture of the one you got for women while you right there before I disappear?
What one for women?
The flash thing, the smaller one.
No,
that's what I want.
It's upstairs.
Okay, well, hey, go to her page. She got a smaller one for women. I don't know if she got any more big ones, but yeah, like I say, and Roy, I
can run and go get it if you're gonna run your mouth for like another 60 seconds.
All right, you got 60 seconds. Go run and get it. All right, and Roy, we do what we do on my JBN. This is unapologetically black. We're gonna have uncomfortable conversations, but it ain't always about agreeing. It's just about having a common cause and discussing different ways to get there. Just like we learned about multiple streams of income, we need to learn about multiple ways of attacking and winning. We ain't all got to go up the same street. If we take 5 or 6 different streets, we can always win. We're gonna miss some, and that's just inevitable, and that's okay because you can't win every fight all the time. The trick is to make sure you fight in a good fight. And like I said, this is why I like to have certain, especially with the women on the show, because they don't have a problem expressing their vulnerabilities. And everybody has them. And sometimes they just need to know. When I did the show on depression, a lot of people reached out to me because nobody ever would have guessed it. Sometimes things just need to be said out loud so people know that they're not alone. So as I'm taking my shirt off, Trina's putting the glass up. Go hit Trina right quick so they can see that glass. She got
this is the decanter. I got my little liquor in it. And then it got that.
That's pretty.
What do you call this thing? A snifter. Yeah.
Can I order one of those tonight?
Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
Go to Little Things at Kalia. I'm gonna put it in the comments.
Can you send me the link? Okay.
Absolutely. All right. So with that being said, I will see you guys. Next week. 6 days, 22 hours, and some change. But I had a great show. I appreciate my guests. And guess what? We still friends. Well, except for me and Petty Helen, because she's still on my shit list. But that's a whole nother story. But
oh my God.
Until then, y'all know what it is. From Random Thoughts with DVP and my JBN. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.